you started out in media, and I think a lot of folks, certainly in the Atlanta area and beyond, because you were in more than one market, know you. But how did that sort of translate into becoming a founder and CEO?
Well, and I worked in KGW TV, Portland, Oregon, before coming to Atlanta and working at KGW TV, Fox 5
Yep.
for many years and loved it. And then just, I guess the business kind of evolved and I evolved. I had two young kids and it was time to do something a little bit different. And it was a lot of fun to, work on my own and for myself. And initially I did some TV programming. We did a series of syndicated segments called Good for Parents, which was a lot of fun back in the day, and wrote some books and then launched Pink. Well, really launched Atlanta Woman magazine first in the Atlanta area, which was a business magazine for women.
But I think you have to, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think, there's a lot of people who have come through media and decided to do something else, and it wasn't entrepreneurial. So did you have a sort of an entrepreneurial bug? Were your parents entrepreneurs? What sort of, made you feel like, yeah, I got this. I can do this.
Well, I think it's just sort of being a type A personality, and
You wanted to be in control.
yeah, pretty much. I'm still working on that, trying to give up some of that control. But, you get to a point where you maybe have a vision, there's an idea you have, there's maybe an open niche in the marketplace, which was really the case in launching these two magazines. Nobody back in the day, and this is, Atlanta Woman, 15 years ago, we launched Pink back in 2004. So we've been doing these events for more than 13 years. And there was this wide open gap in the marketplace. And you're looking at it and you realize nobody is telling this story.
Yeah.
Nobody is covering this piece. And then combining that with just the network, that as you grow older, you have this network. And I had this pretty big network, which included a lot of corporations that I knew were sensitive to the fact that women were important force. They were marketing to women. Their employees were women. And there was a discrepancy in the marketplace. So we had that built-in support system. So it just made sense.
So I want to dig into a couple of those things, Cynthia. Cynthia Good hanging out with us this morning, founder and CEO of Little Pink Book. You mentioned having a niche and that you saw an opening at that time where something wasn't happening and filled that. How important do you think that is for entrepreneurs that are maybe just starting a business? Does it have to be something where there is sort of a big gap in the market?
I think it can be a big gap in the marketplace, or it can be the sense that you've got an idea, a concept, a product, whatever it is, and you can do it better than anybody else, maybe differently. It's still surprising to me that there are so many things that, it's pretty good, but if they tweak it a little bit, it's $1 million idea.
Yeah.
And I think there are still those opportunities out there. And if you have that vision, and it affects you, you have the personal experience and you have the wherewithal to pull it together and make it happen. There are a lot of opportunities out there, especially now, because I think the economy really is rebounding, at least from where we stand.
Yeah.
We notice that things are loosening up, budgets and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think you're really right about that. I mean, I feel like if you have a great idea and it's really unique, that's one thing. But I also think you're right. I mean, how many of us have walked into any situation and said, I could do that better?
Yeah, and I mean, even if you don't really know how to do it, that's okay too. I think there's a benefit to having that naivete.
Yes.
It makes you less afraid and you just sort of go for it. And that's how we were back in the day.
Well, let's talk a little bit about sort of the naivete and the planning sort of versus doing, because I'm super action oriented. And I know for me, I don't sit around and do a plan for 6 months or a year. I just say, oh, I think I want to do this, and I go do it. And if I make mistakes along the way, I'm okay with that. Is that the way you operate, or are you a planner?
I mean, you like to do a little bit of research and, test the waters. And I think just go for it and try to evolve with the marketplace. That's really what we've done at Pink. We had the hard copy magazine for a number of years. It did really great. It won a lot of awards. We were printing 140,000 copies of every issue. It was in every Borders and Barnes and Noble in America, every Delta Crown Room, most of the bookstores in Canada. And then it got to the point where, frankly, other publications I thought were doing as good, and some of them an even better job than us. So at that point, there was no longer a gap in the marketplace. I think we helped move the needle a little bit. And so then we had to sit down and we had to say to ourselves, what can we do better than anybody else? What can we do that nobody else is doing? And then evolve the organization based on that.
I love that, because I feel like we've seen companies who haven't been able to see the writing on the wall.
Kodak.
Blockbuster. We could do a list, right? Like we
We
could do a
could.
list of the dinosaurs that went extinct because they did not sit back and say, now, wait a second. We've done this great for however long, but this is not where the market is anymore.
Right. Starbucks needs to offer a puppy latte.
Okay. I'm
I'm just saying.
All right, fair enough.
Right?
There's a lot of money in the doggy stuff. That's for sure. I don't know how we went down that trail. It's your fault.
Sorry.
Listen, the other thing you mentioned before we get to the event, which I want to do, is your network. And I have found for myself also that having a big network is a huge help when you're building a business. But I feel like a lot of, especially young entrepreneurs, forget that or miss that fact. Do you?
Well, not just young entrepreneurs. I mean, I think even, women, men too, in corporate America, we tend to focus so much on what we're doing, on getting ahead and doing our job really well, that sometimes we forget to reach out to our network and continue to nurture that. And then if there's an issue and you want to make a change, who are you going to turn to?
If you need something and you don't have a network, it's sort of too late. You got to build the network just to build the network.
It's true.
All right.
And it's fun. I mean, it should be, you should enjoy it. The
Yes.
idea of going out and networking is like, put a sharp stick in the eye. I hate that.
Yeah.
But to sit down with other like-minded people who are passionate about some of the same things you're passionate about and build the friendship where it's really much deeper and
Yeah.
you enjoy it and you laugh, that's a good thing.
Yeah, the networking.
It's good for the life, not
word
just the career.
The word networking has gotten sort of a bad rap. It should almost be like net friending.
It's like anti-aging.
Yeah. Yeah, we're getting rid of that word too, finally.
I think we should.
Thank goodness. Cynthia Good, as always, great to see you. Thanks so much
Thanks
for sharing
having me.
your story and the Empower Lunch. We'll post a link to all of that on our show notes page at biz1190.com/Dana Barrett. More Women on Wednesday right after this. Don't go away.